Jewish conversion is really tough, and I'm okay with that. See, because I think there's a midrash that says most Jews didn't leave Egypt.
80% wanted to stay behind
because it was easier. And like I've often been asked, why do you think so many people leave Orthodox Judaism? I have never spent a sleepless night wondering why so many people leave Orthodox Judaism. To me, it's obvious. Orthodox. I know you hate that term.
I hate it.
But
just call it Judaism.
Yiddishkeit.
Judaism.
Yiddishkeit is very demanding. It's very difficult. It totally makes sense to me why someone would want to leave it and bang a lot of shiksas, do a lot of drugs, devote themselves to work. Maybe they want to be an athlete and they can't play on Shabbat, so they give up, Yiddishkeit so that they can pursue their athletic dreams, their acting dreams. It's really hard to be an actor in Hollywood and be an observant
Thank you.
Jew.
Yeah.
It's really hard to succeed in the world out there and be an observant Jew. It's a lot easier if you simply jettison the commandments. You can express yourself more freely. You can eat more foods. More doors are open to you. You'll have far fewer difficulties. So it's no surprise to me that people leave Orthodox Judaism. It's a very demanding way of life. I'm okay with that. I make peace with people not being able to get into it, even though in their heart they really want to be Orthodox Jews and they really gave it a good shot, but they just couldn't afford it, or they got kicked out of the program at the last minute because their best friend betrayed them. Unless you can pick yourself back up, go to another Beit Din, try all over again. It's a really, you agree, it's a hard way to live. I mean,
it's not easy. It's not easy.
You're not exactly.
Oh, I'm just loving being from.
Eating
I'm just
ice cream
loving it. Oh my God! I just wake up every morning and go, woo! It's so great to be from.
I mean, your life isn't all blowjobs and bubblegum.
No, I'm going to admit it. Being from in many ways has ruined my life because it's put me in a position where I'm locked into this terrible situation. In my case, where I'm forced, the law, the halacha is I have to keep shomer negiah, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not allowed to touch women until I'm married, and I'm never going to be married, and so I'm forced to be celibate. So basically, Judaism for me means I have to live the life of a priest, right? I don't remember ever signing up for the priesthood, right? But I'm told I have to be a priest. Now, most Catholics don't sign up for the priesthood.
Right.
Am I fair to say?
Yes.
Right? You might be an observant Catholic, but priesthood is like a whole new level, right? And you might sign up to be Torah observant, to follow Judaism, but who said you have to be like a priest? First of all, right? Torah doesn't even want you to be a priest, right? It wants you to get married and have, do the whoopee, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my problem is no Jewish woman's going to marry me, right? So I'm stuck. Right? So this is no fucking fun for me. I'll be the first to admit it. I hate being from. It fucking sucks. Right? Anybody who would live my life for 1 minute would know, hey, whoa, this is not good. Right? So in many ways, I have ruined my life by staying from all this time. Mm-hmm. Right? It is not funny. So you can say, well, that's another reason why I don't get involved in Kiruv.
Yeah.
I get involved because my thing is I want to tell everybody, and I'm not saying like you shouldn't do Torah and mitzvahs, but before you take on that commitment, let's have full disclosure. Like when you go to buy a house, find out what Judaism, what the house is. What's I want to know. Was there an earthquake in '94? Was there cracks in the walls that are covered up? With paint. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, what does Judaism mean? What does it mean? Is the only way that I'm going to have sex is if I find a woman to marry me? What if I can't find a woman to marry me? What does that mean? Do I have a life of masturbation ahead of me? Is that what I get to look forward for the next 70 years? Mm-hmm. What if, what are the odds on finding a Jewish woman who I'm compatible with? What does Judaism say about that? So these you can learn all the halachas you want. You can pick up a Torah book. It's not going to talk about this. Right? Because it's going to say, oh, you're going to get married. There's no book that tells you, there's nothing you can learn that's going to say, what are my odds of finding a woman to get married to?
Keep going.
Okay? That's the problem. There's no place that it says that, and you need to know. And the problem is, Kiruv organizations aren't going to tell you this. Only Rabbi Ravs is going to tell you this because I'm the best friend of the Goyim, and also I'm also embraced misfits. And right now we're talking about misfits, people who not necessarily fit in to Judaism, like a square in a square hole or whatever. You might be like a round whole thing or whatever in a square. I don't know how that stupid thing goes, but I don't exactly fit mainstream. And if you don't fit mainstream, listen to what I have to say, because you need to think about what you're getting involved with Judaism, because it's an all-encompassing event. It's not like, joining the Kiwanis Club, okay? It's not like you just, write a check and you join, you go to a couple of meetings in the year. This is going to be every single day of your life. You're going to wake up, from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed, every single thing in your life is going to be involved Judaism. It's all day long. You can't escape it. When you go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom according to Judaism. Right? Am I right? All right, I think we covered conversions, did we? The one thing I want to say is I'm going to... I can't think what this guy talking about.
You have to say a bracha after you go to the bathroom. So it's a long one too. That took me 60 seconds.
That's why I never go to the bathroom.
So imagine you go to the bathroom like 25 times a day.
Then I think if you go to the bathroom 25 times a day, you need to see your urologist.
But some people have that burden, and so then you've got to say Asher Yatza 25 times. Like, what happens if you go 6 times at night? And
you really got to see your urologist.
And then you've got to say that, and it's hard to go back to sleep after.
It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
So go ahead.
All right. So here's what we're gonna wrap this up. But here's the thing. I have a lot more to talk about conversions. I wrote a whole essay on it. Here's what I propose. If you have me on Facebook, look, because I'm going to now post on my wall an essay that I wrote. It's in my book, and it's about conversions, and it's going to be what I consider the handbook for the perspective for the convert. Mm-hmm. For somebody who's in the conversion program, this is your handbook. Luke might write a whole different version, but this is mine, okay? Yeah. This is my handbook. If you want to get a hold of it, I encourage every person who's in the program who's considering becoming a Jew to read my essay. And if you're not on my Facebook, or if you watch this, like 3 months from now, you don't even know what I'm talking about because it's long gone, you're watching it on YouTube, contact me, rabs@rabs.com.
Right.
Rabs@rabs.com. I'd be happy to hook you up with this essay, because this is what I believe is the handbook. These are things you need to know before you venture into this huge thing. And I want to say, to those who are thinking about becoming Jewish, I congratulate them. I applaud them. Yeah. I think it's a tremendous thing that they've come to the grips with the idea that Judaism is the truth, and I think it's wonderful. And for those who make it and go the distance and they get through it, I applaud you. I applaud you, Luke, for getting that far. I think it's a tremendous accomplishment. Okay, but what I don't want to see is somebody experience what I experienced, which is failure. Okay, and I'm trying to avoid that. Okay, so contact me. I'll let you see my essay. And it's as this woman who I was dating a couple years ago ended up, she ended up with the booby prize, with the consolation prize. She ended up what's called a Ben Noach, right?
Right.
It's like, oh, thanks for playing, but you're going to be a Ben Noach, right? And you're going to follow the 7 laws. And next week, Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to talk about the Noachide laws.
Right.
And this is something that you can do. Every non-Jew can do this. Right. You can realize that the Torah is the truth and Judaism has it. And there's a lot of things that you can do as a non-Jew without becoming a Jew. And you can do these in the privacy of your own home. It turns out, I'm not talking about Washington. Give me a state where they don't have anything. North Dakota?
North Dakota.
Well, North Dakota was safe, right? North Dakota. These you can do in your own home in North Dakota, right? You can do it with the doors closed. It's just like masturbation, Right. And you can do it in your own privacy, and like nobody knows, it's just between you and God. And we're going to talk about the Noachide laws next week?
Okay, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, I wanted to say some things.
Go ahead.
Rabbi Rabs is going to have a completely different take on what I'm about to say, but I'm going to take a couple of minutes here. I was living in remote Northern California. There was no Orthodox synagogue within walking distance of where I lived. The nearest Orthodox synagogue was about 45 minutes drive away. So did I just, I'm just going to be a Noahide? No, I did what I could where I was. So the rabbi would disagree, but I attached myself to the Nevada County Jewish community, which wasn't even affiliated with any movement of Judaism. It was a group of Jews, and they held Shabbat services that were not Orthodox Shabbat services, but I got in contact with an Israeli woman who was running it, and she was secular.